Oh my God, go fuck yourself. That was then. This is now, bitch. It's a whole new set of rules. It's Monday. If you ain't waking up with the taste of blood in your fucking mouth like a shark 5 feet from the shore, you fucked up. You understand? Because Monday is when you go, everything else is like, still the weekend, you fucking go.
I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. It's 224. We so lucky. We got out of 223. We lucky. And just at 200, it was COVID. Nigga, we so lucky. Oh, we so lucky. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. The only 3 dudes off of ventilators. The only 2 dudes I could find off a ventilator, not connected to a ventilator, they're breathing on their own recognizance. That's so funny. Breathing on their own recognizance. What up, gentlemen?
Everything is good, man. It's good to see you. I hope you gentlemen had an absolutely phenomenal holiday season. First and foremost, Happy New Year's to all of our viewers and listeners and followers. Happy New Year's to you two gentlemen. Man, listen, I'm just... it's so funny that you playing that song and you saying you're so lucky. I promise you, the close of 2023, that's what it made me feel like. I'm like, you know what? I know there was some trials and tribulations and some challenges, but all in all, it was a good year.
Yeah, I made it. I made it. You know where my epiphany came from, Amir and Sean? My epiphany of that came New Year's Eve, believe it or not. My son came with his lady. My son came on his own, just, Dad, where you at? I'm over here, bro. We coming through. And just to be there and bring it in with his dad, it's a grown-ass man. This man, 31, about to be 32 years old. So as a grown man, it touches you that this other young man that you raised, he wants to be this particular New Year's. Where you at? Yeah. And the more I looked at him, the more I talked to him, the more we took a picture and hugged, and, I got overwhelmed with the fact that something I didn't think about, which I probably should have looked at this way, but my brain works different. So it took this particular night, Sean and Amir, for it to hit me that God gave you your son back, nigga.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My son passed out on stage. Those who don't know, my son's a comedian as well of 5 years. And a little over a year ago, my son was on a show, mic in hand. Boom, just like you seen the football player Hamlin on Buffalo Bills. That was my son. He died. They bring him back. He got the thing in the chest and all that. So in that night, it all just came flooding back. Like, yo, God gave my son back, bro.
Yeah. And
I'm so lucky.
Right, and you're so lucky, and we're all so grateful. And the same here. I had the opportunity over the holiday weekend to spend some time with my family because, as a full-time comedian, it's far and few times that I'm even around my family, silly, because I'm out there working and I work the weekends, and sometimes I feel inadequate. I feel a little guilty for not being around, but we out there, we're working. So to have the opportunity this year to be around my family, I just had a grandson, and I just feel so grateful. And it was one of those, Amir Silly, it was one of those moments, just like you and Talent. I took a moment to myself, took personal inventory, looked around, and thought about how grateful that I am and how blessed that I am that I got these people in my life and that I'm healthy at the moment. And this was these thoughts towards the end of the year, like New Year's. I think we all do need to take those personal inventories, and I did. But I'll tell you one thing, Amir Silly. I'm into the Christmas holidays. I got my stepson here. I like to call him my son, bonus son. And I got all these, my daughter just had a baby. So everybody's into Christmas, right? But Amir Silly, I'll tell you this. It is January the 8th. That Christmas tree is still up, Amir Silly. and that's Amir Silly. That Christmas tree is standing tall.
But that's good, Sean. It's supposed to be up. You're not supposed to take that tree down to February, bro. End of January, February 1st. A real Christmas thing. First of all, hold on. You know what? Let me caveat that shit. And the famous word caveat, my nigga, me always. There's a caveat to that. Is your tree real?
No.
Okay, yeah, take that shit. I thought we was dealing with a real Christmas nigga. Me and my bad. Yo, Sean, you can take this shit down the 26th. The fuck you waiting for? Shit, I think I'm talking to a fellow Christmas nigga like I grew up. Got the real tree. That motherfucker still. We gonna get our money worth. The pine gonna pop in January. This nigga got shit to go back to pop. You don't get your fucking Barbie doll, hobby oven ass Christmas.
Yo, all the bulbs are still on it. And it's not moving anytime soon. Let me tell you something. When I was a kid growing up, my father had the Christmas tree up to April the 1st. But yeah, Christmas tree is still up. April the 1st. Yeah, that's another issue. Christmas tree, even though it's not real, the Christmas tree is still up, fellas.
That's a goddamn shame, Sean Harvey. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Harvey, he might as well be a grown ass Keebler elf. Fucking tree ain't real. Anyway. Welcome to Motivation Mondays. We want to apologize and say welcome back. We know we were missed because I was getting the emails, I was getting the inboxes. Y'all on, why y'all ain't on? Ladies and gentlemen, Christmas fell on a Monday. New Year's Day fell on a Monday. So we have to honor and respect for all the parties involved, not just us goofy motherfuckers want to get on here and talk shit. We want to let you breathe because in that little 2-week span, the dopeness about that is you got more shit to talk about. You encapsulated the end of the calendar year. Speaking of calendars, quick shameless plug, my calendar will be out the end of this month, 2024. I was going to skip the year, right? The people have spoken. They wouldn't let me skip the year. I went to four cities, 8 shows in a row. Every show, at least 5. No, you got the new count. I said, no, I'm not doing this. Motherfucker looked at me. I said, nah, I'm going to skip this shit. One motherfucker looked at me like, because I made that decision, there's no holidays this year. That's why nigga looked at me like, that nigga looked at me like, nigga, you gonna cancel Groundhog Day? I said, listen, sir, give me a minute, sir. Let me rethink this shit. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Maybe I made a rash decision, which I did. I went back. I tracked my people down. I said, how quick can we get this shit? And I'll have the shit at the end of the month. But good thing about it is I was racing. Like, how could I get it? But here's the thing. The dude told me, he said, nah, see, I'm gonna put you down on what I'm doing with my calendars. This is the guy to make all the famous black calendars, Black Wall Street, all that shit. So the nigga goes, he said, nah, I got slick with it, nigga. He said, my calendars, they're a year, but I go from, to give myself time and I'm not rushing in the year with everybody, I go from June to June.
Yeah.
I said, oh shit, I ain't it was something so simple. Yeah. I felt like, I ain't thinking that shit. I'm running around here, chicken head cut off, people cursing me out at my own shows and shit. And I could have just pushed it back a couple months. I said, you a fucking genius, son of a bitch. Yeah. And then that was that. So, so anyway, welcome to 2024, everybody. Hopefully these shows help somebody out week after week for 50 weeks saying, you know what? I picked the jewel up here. I picked the jewel up there. Boom. Y'all heard us talking about the song, I'm Lucky. Go on Instagram and follow my girl. It says, listen, the number 2 Tish. Listen to Tish. Her name is Tish Hyman, and she is my new favorite artist out of the Boogie Down Bronx, Sean. You love that part.
Oh yeah.
Out of the Boogie Down Bronx. Tish Hyman, she's fucking dope. Like, she has a song called I'm Lucky that just puts me in the mind of all the classics of Bob Marley and Lauryn Hill, like that sound and that lyric importance. Because those real artists, if you ever notice, they use simple sounds and words, and that song is so incredible, right? And then you get another nigga come with all the big words. You play it one time. The nigga lost me supercalifragilistic. But like this shit, I just want to plug her because I'm gonna get in contact with her personally, and you're gonna see her do some stuff with me. We got a new thing coming out, a new series I'm starting. I think in the end of February, called Nothing. It's called Nothing But the Love. Like after the late great Heavy D had the album and the single and the video, Nothing But Love. So it's gonna be Nothing But the Love, and Nothing But the Love is gonna be a performance series, a nice, grown and sexy for the arts. You're gonna come see the hot poets. You're gonna see ladies like Tish Hyman doing her thing. That all this talent that's out there that some people know and some people don't know. And of course, my comedy comrades and great DJs and all that. So it's gonna be called Nothing But the Love. We got this new venue over here in New Rochelle. It's gonna be dope. So look out for that. I wish everybody a happy New Year.
New York King, how did you run into this artist? How did you stumble upon this artist? Because I see you love the song. Everybody, if you didn't know before we started the show, the New York King was singing the song.
Right.
Me and Amir Sealy was almost practically forced to listen to it. Hey, where did you stumble onto this artist?
That's going to have us down in HR. This nigga right here. I felt pressure. It's my boss. And HR is filling these bitches. I had to fondle his balls. The fuck out of here. You like it? So anyway, I was in Atlanta this weekend. New York Kings was on tour. We left Brooklyn 4 nights and went to do another 3 in Atlanta, right back to back. So I get out there a day early, and thank God, because I was up all night the night before, got to sleep. Got the hotel we in is right next to my favorite restaurant, Papa Do's. So I got to eat my alligator shit and Papa Do's seafood, and then went in there, got the power nap in, right? So Sean, I'm up late at night. I'm being a good boy. I'm not slutting nobody's niece out or none shit like that. I'm being a good boy. So it's a perfect time to partake in my edibles. So I get my son, New Year's, I tell you, he came out, but Christmas, when he came out to hang with us for Christmas, he bought me a stocking stuff with different stuff. And he works in a weed store. So he said, Dad, you want a cookie or brownie? Let me try the brownie. So I got the brownie in my bag when I go to Atlanta. I said, you know what? I ain't going nowhere. The fuck? Good time to be high. Boom. Took a piece of that brownie, bro. So now I'm checking my gram. I'm messaging people. Then, you just scrolling and shit. And I always crack on people like, what the fuck are you scrolling, bro? You ain't got a life? But now I don't have a life, so I'm scrolling.
Right.
So I'm scrolling, I'm checking out videos. It's this girls, it's Yana and 3 girls out of England. They're dope dancers. They like some of the dopest dancers you ever want to see. You know what I'm talking about? Like they got 1 million viewers, like followers, or whatever. They're my favorite dance group on the gram. So whenever somebody send me that, I click on them, watch them. I watch it like 10 times. They dope like that, right? So after, how you watch a reel, the next reel come on. Yeah. After that, now I find myself just scrolling through the reels, and then I hear these fucking words. I got air in my lungs. I not to stop, and I'm like, I'm staring at this motherfucker, and I find myself, let me hear that shit again. Let me hear that shit again. I said, so I'm learning the words. I'm like, this shit is fire. It's touching me in a certain way. I gotta look up. It's 3:00 in the morning, 3:30. I said, nigga, go to sleep. I said, fuck, go to sleep. Now I look crazy because I'm in my room, and this is the part I forgot that's very funny. I can't find my little Bose JBL speaker, right? Can't find my speaker, so I got my headphones. I got my JBL noise canceling joints from the plane. I put these shits on, and I'm listening to shit, and it's so crisp. I got air in my lungs. And I'm like this, like, keep playing shit. After about 10 times, you think the sound out here, everybody can hear it. I forgot I'm wearing headphones, nigga. I'm like this. So I'm looking around like, ain't nobody gonna say nothing? Ain't nobody hear nothing. First of all, ain't nobody in there. Second of all, what am I looking for to hear it? I said, yo, I'm hot. I said, take your ass to bed. So long story short, so I did this shit a second night in a row. I was up to 6 something. I was supposed to go to brunch with these people at 1 o'clock. My nephew and my brother came in town from Florida, so he hanging with me. Nigga, I woke up at 2 o'clock, 2:30. And I looked over, tapped my phone, that shit said 2. I said, get the fuck. I called him right away. He said, man, Don't worry about that. I got you something to go with. I got them alligator joints you like, whatever. So he brought me the food and I said, thanks, man. I said, nigga, I just woke up. I said, I fucking been up 6 with this music shit with this lady, Tish Hyman again. Follow her. Listen, number 2, Tish. Listen to Tish on the gram. So I love this song, Sean. I'm gonna track her down. She's gonna be. I want her to be my grand opening artist and all that good stuff. But enough about us. Let's dive into. It's a new year.
Yes, sir.
It's 2024. In case you just woke up under a big boulder of a rock, and let's talk about 23 going into 24 because we're about to start something new. Hopefully for some of us. Some of us. Here's the thing. To the good people's credit, who ain't got to start nothing new. And you rocked on, did your thing in 2023, and you just want more of the same, God bless you. Hats off to you. Kudos. You did the goddamn thing. Keep up the good work. For those of us who myself, I'm far from perfect, and I always like to look at myself, always working on getting better at something or another. Sometimes it's 2 things at a time. Sometimes it's 5 things at a time. Sometimes it's 1 thing I'm concentrating on. Whatever it is, I don't think that any of us will ever be perfect. So if that's the case, we should always be working on something and striving for something. You know what I mean? So
Correct.
With that being said, 2023, Sean Harvey, you first. Give me 3 top things that you're happy you got done last year. 2023, you wanted to get something done, and you got these 3 things done, and you happy about it.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing. The first thing I got done, which really in 2023 was I had a grandson. I didn't directly do this.
I hope not.
But I have 5 children, and not one of them have any children. So I'm the old dude that's not a grandfather, but have multiple children. So when my daughter, became pregnant, I thought that was so exciting, and then she, obviously she gave birth, and the baby was healthy, and that was something that just brought so much overwhelming joy in my life in 2023.
Dope.
So I mean that it just like filled this void that was in me. Because most of all my friends are grandfathers or grandmothers, so I didn't know how that felt.
Right.
So now I know how that feels. So that void is fulfilled, and I'm truly grateful for that. The second thing that I'm so proud of that I worked on in 2023 was I brought my procrastination down to a minimum. Even at my age, I still procrastinate on some bullshit things that need to be done that are so easily that you could just do at any given moment. I would always, put things to the back burner and then later on get to it. So that whole mindset of, everything's got to be a little more urgent, Sean. Let's get to the point. Let's make sure things happen. Make sure we get things done. So I'm proud of myself. And another thing I did in 2023, which I'm really proud of, is I went old school. I took a pen, a piece of paper. I write down the things that I need to do during the day or any type of goal that I wanted to achieve. And I wrote these things down instead of putting them in my phone or storing them. I really wrote these things down, and I put a checklist on the things that I need to do. So I'm really proud of that in 2023. And the third thing, I like to say that in 2023, which I do have to still work on in 2024, but I'm so proud that all the relationships that are important to me in my life, I maintain them and I cherish them. And they're fulfilling to me, because back when I was younger, I took relationships for granted. Even with people that cared for me, I cared for them. I did something to screw up a relationship, damaged it, and I didn't care nothing about relationships. So today, I like to say from 23, leaping into 24, my maintenance on relationships that are important to me, that people that are in my life that are important to me, are still maintained to the fullest. So those are the 3 things. Had a grandchild,
Yeah.
Had a grandson. I limited my procrastination. That's one of my liabilities I did.
Me too.
And all the relationships that I cherished in 2023 into 2024 are still going strong. So that's really, that's what I'm most proud of for, the 24
You
and the
did
23.
good, man. You did. I like your 3 because remember I mentioned I have the same problem with the procrastination thing that a psychic pointed out to me, and I would never would have realized it because even though it was procrastination, we can trick ourselves to believe things are something else. So in my mind, I always believed it was something else. And no, when she broke the shit down, it was like, no, nigga. Yeah, you can't tell me that shit. I'm a psychic. You fucking procrastinate. I was like, who the fuck? I'm gonna argue with this all seeing bitch, right? This bitch got powers. Amir, what's the top 3 things got done? 2023. What got done?
Okay, so first thing up was I traveled more probably in 2023 than I have in some time. I had a couple of cruises under my belt. I got to Vegas quite a few times, and I got to travel to some other places in between. I was in Florida, I was in Dallas, I was in quite a few places this year that I had never had the opportunity to be in before. So the traveling was mega important to me.
Nice.
And really from this standpoint alone, travel, in my guesstimation, and I'm sure you gentlemen may feel this way as well, is it just allows you to see, as much as we think we're so different, and I don't care what walk of life you in, we're a lot more alike than we are different. The cities, the homeless population, the hood, same thing. The dialect may be a little bit different, but technically speaking, the energy and a lot of the stuff that goes around that seems to be the same. So that was interesting because I also was in Mexico. I was in Cozumel, Casamaya, and one other Mexican. And, to be there and to see the people of those places cater to the people who come to visit those countries. For instance, you have a Mayan mask, but it has a Green Bay, logo at the bottom or at the top. I was like, I didn't need a Mayan mask with the Green Bay logo. I need the Mayan mask. But I realized that, again, they're catering to the people who, come to visit them. So I thought that was dope. The second thing that I did was I cut back on the amount of time and energy that I was spending giving out to people and to things. So before, where I felt as though I needed to be at everything and needed to be in the building and be seen and, this person is doing this. And even though I was with them last week, I got to be at this thing this week. I was like, look, let's slow all of that down. You don't need to be at everything. Everything isn't a necessity. Kind of prioritize, the things that you want to be at and the people and places that you want to be around, and enjoy that. Like Sean said, we don't necessarily always understand how important the relationships are with the people who we have. And most certainly from this standpoint, the people who check in and cheer for you. Because there's a lot of us chasing people and things that don't give a damn about us because we feel as though we're missing out because they're not extending, those, invites to us. So please do a better job of that for yourself. And then the last thing that, I really took to heart was I got to the end of the year and, as I always tell y'all, I just reassessed the year. And when I look back over the pictures in my phone, I got to say, I was really impressed at a lot of the things that I had the opportunity to do and how they just unfolded organically. And I thought that in itself was something that was incredible. And I'm just going to share this quick story and I'll turn it back over to you, T. So it's coming back from Vegas because I was in Vegas for New Year's and I'm sitting at the gate waiting for the flight. You as well, Sean. And one of your comrades comes up and I happen to look up and I'm like, oh my God, that's Sherry Shepherd. Like, now you see somebody, you like, you make the eye contact. So she nodded at me and I nodded at her and I was like, oh, shoot, Sherry Shepherd. And then I, went back to just sitting at the gate and chilling. So then she came and she sat next to me. So I said, you know what, let me just extend, congratulations to her because I know she has her own show and, is doing all these amazing things. So I said, hey, I just want to, say congratulations to you and, much continued success as, well as Happy New Year. So she said, oh my gosh, she said, you have such a wonderful voice. Are you a pastor? So I said, no. I said, no. So she said, well, do you do voiceovers? And I said, again, no. She said, has anybody ever brought that up to you? I said, it has been mentioned to me on a couple of occasions. I said, but I don't, think much about it. She said, that's God talking to you. So I just laughed, and I was like, that was a odd thing that just come up without the blue. So I said to her, since you mentioned it, I will take a look into it. And I said, just so you know, I said, I'm not in comedy, but I'm friends with, some of your comrades, and, I ran off you guys' names and everything. And she was like, oh, that's nice. So then she reached out her hand and she was like, hi, I'm Sherry. And I said, oh, my name is Amir. We shook hands. And since she was, in first class on the plane, she got up, because they were starting to board the plane, and she looked back over her shoulder. She said, Amir, don't forget what we talked about. Look into that voiceover. And I said, okay. And I just nodded, and, she got on the plane, and then, I, got on a little while after her. But it was, again, just an organic moment. And I think that sometimes we don't appreciate those moments. We so, caught up in, I saw Sean was hanging with this person. I saw Talent was over here with this person. That ain't your journey. That ain't even your, your story. Pay attention to what your story is. Appreciate your story. Be mindful of your story, because that's God, that's the universe, that's whatever talking to you and trying to help you get on track for your story. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
it's amazing. My mind is similar to that. The first thing top of my list. First of all, I'll tell you what I didn't get done. I didn't get this fucking house straightened up.
I'm on that too, so I'm with you, brother.
I've been talking to myself all fucking year. I know what I need to do. And I done bought every time I go to the store, I get shit I need, part of the straightening bins. I got about 50 bins. I got the bins, got the separate shit. I get everything every time I go. And then something happens, and my life is a run-on sentence. So every time I'm sitting in this office, downstairs in my warehouse shit, or in the dog room, I'm like, nigga, you gotta. So that's 2024. But anyway, first thing at the top of my list that makes me happy is I got everybody know I got a lot of dogs over here. And one of my oldest dog, who's still a member of the first crop of 5. That means this thing is 15. He's gonna be 16 this year, right? So I've been waiting for this. This shit sound horrible. You kind of feel like you wait for him to die, right? Because he's going through his little health shit and blah blah blah. So I feel like I'm in the house or taking care of my elders or whatever. That's how I feel with him. But then he has these great days and these bad days, and you just got to be there through the whole movie. It's a lot of task and work and emotional roller coaster. He's still here. Top of my list. My dog is still there. Cassius Clay is his name, affectionately known as Cash Money. But Cassius Clay, named after the great Muhammad Ali, he's here. That's number 1. Like you, Amir, 2 and 3 go hand in hand. 2 being cutting down on toxicity. You know what I mean? Like toxic, whether coming in people, whether it's coming in groups, whether it's coming in places or things. I did realize that a couple of years ago, like, okay, start chipping away from this shit. Like, I already generally do a good job with it, but I've noticed in like I said, the last year and a half, 2 years of little bits and pieces being where I'm at by inadvertently, not even supposed to be there or on purpose or blah 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 shit like that. So that part, I did a hell of a job of cutting that down, getting rid of that. And what impressed me about getting rid of it, because it's in some people, right? How politely I did. None of this shit is fuck yeah. Everything this year has been nice to meet you. You go outside, you get in the car with the people, go, we ain't doing that shit again.
Right.
You staying away from that motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I did a great job on that. Now on the flip side, that's why it's a 2-part thing, 2 and 3. The 3 is on the flip side of that, the people who I do enjoy their company, who are good for my health, I've been making sure I got time. I've been making sure here at the crib, when I'm home, Sean, me, because you hung with me at the bar. You know how I get down. Those are my friends. Those are people, some of them I went to school with. Some of them knew my mom. Like, we're all real close. So while you're ripping and running, you're seeing them far and few between type shit. So over the last year and a half, I'm getting closer to the people who mean me well, like organically, not mean me well so you can do well, but organically just mean me healthy days. And I'm staying close to that. And I'm noticing I'm a lot healthier because of that. I'm not talking about breaking a leg, people, or twisting an arm and fractures. I'm talking about you can feel when you're moving healthier. You can feel Your whole swag is different. Your energy is different. You can do this longer. You can do this stronger. You're smiling more. You're pacing and taking your time. Why? Because you're moving at what we call a healthy pace. When you're moving at an unhealthy pace or a detrimental pace, it's totally different.
Yeah.
You can't barely wake this nigga up. He's so stressed. When he do lay down, he's in a coma. You can't get him up. You can't get him on time to this. He's around the wrong people. Blah, blah, blah. Bad things keep happening. He thinks he's cursed. Once you cut the negative part, the part that don't get you, I've changed. Like women I used to speak to, I don't speak to you no more because I don't feel like I may still like you, but you don't get me.
Yeah.
You don't get me. And I can't give you that time now because that time is kind of wasted because I spent all that time and you still don't get me. Yeah. That's like, now I know how teachers feel when they got to do the extra credit shit and all that, stay after class. They're like, motherfucker, 2 plus 2 is what? 22. This motherfucker. So my top 3 is that, you know what I mean? Got those 3 things done, those things on right course and pace to be whatever the case may be. Also, this is a 2-part question, and then we'll move on about 2023. Either give me, or either in both, either and in or, the best of 2023 and your favorite people. Who's your MVP of 2023? Or what's the best thing, like the most interesting thing on the good note that you've seen, that you say, yo, that shit right there topped the motherfucking year, 2023, bomb, that's it. You know what I mean? Or some favorite people of the year. Like I do that every year. Every year I look at the year and I go, this motherfucker has been my nigga this year. You know, I fucked with this motherfucker right here. You know what I mean? Like, and with me, one of my favorite peoples this year, the people that I fuck with, I don't even count them, so you guys don't even think about it because that goes without saying. But it's these people that shock you, you know.
Yeah.
The people that you align yourself with, that you know they're good people and they're good for your health, you don't count them no more because they were in. They already won. Yeah, the contest. You know, they shot the shot from half court. They hit it. $10,000. Yeah, it's the ones that shock you and go, you know what? I fucks with this dude. This dude did this, this, and this, or move like this, this, and this. He one of my favorite people this year. I hope he keep it up. You know what I mean? We're gonna let you in the camp, fam. We fucks with you. Hopefully you'll keep it up, be in the camp here on out. But exactly. First of all, obviously this girl right here, even though I just seen her now, technically she's on the 2023. I would like to make her my number one for 2023, but I stumbled on shit a week late. Zach Pickett's a comedian, my white friend, Caucasian comedian friend, used to stay down in Atlantic City. Now he's up in, moved up to Jersey City, so he's on the New York scene a lot. And this is one of those guys that I always make a mental note of people's work ethic. When I call you on the phone or hit you with something, I mean, barring you already booked, you can't do it. But those motherfuckers that go, where? I'm there, blah, blah, blah. He's one of the few motherfuckers, and Sean is like this too. And this is why I fuck with these dudes. I'm tired of, at this stage of the game in comedy, I keep a lot of people working and you're booking a lot of people, but I'd rather give the opportunity and whatever that money number is to people who are really on their grind for it. Not the hustler per se. The hustler per se is, he don't give a fuck. He's hustling. That's what they do. Selling incense and all these counting the money. He don't give a fuck. And you can always tell who you're dealing with by the conversation. Amir, when I call or text and we're talking, if you ask how much before any other information you got, you're on the wrong side. I'm hanging that up. I'm ending that conversation. You don't want to know shit. That means you ain't taking this shit as serious as me. I'm trying to tell you shit you need to know. Listen. It's gonna be 500 niggas there. This is all church people. 2 midgets, paraplegics, and I'm giving you the information right now to set you up to win and not fail. If you keep saying how much before you know all the details you need to know, you don't even know where it is. Yeah. So how could you go off of how much? How much is the end? Any real business motherfucker, when they booking, how much is the end? Unless I ask you up front, unless I start my conversation, Amir, how much you want to go to Brooklyn and da 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 da. That's the only time you talk money first. If I say, hey man, what are you doing Thursday the 15th? You go, Thursday 15th? Nothing. I get off at 5. Okay, cool. Because I'm going to explain it. At the end of that explanation, I think I gave you all the details you need. Now you go, okay, that's cool. But now you're going to ask me what you want to know. Well, what T is it from? What's it from 6 to what? 6 to 8. Oh, you're 6 to 8. I got to get there, get yourself there, trained already. Okay. So how much? I got a budget? What do you pay? That's how that's supposed to go.
Right.
Not out the gate. If you go out the gate, you told me one thing right away. You're a hustler. So by being a hustler, I'm not looking at you like a real solid stand-up comedian like Sean Harvey, myself, and Kenny, and we really do this for a living. So you're kind of like slighting what I do. So that conversation is going to go bad. But do you have any, Amir, best of the year or favorite people?
You know what's so crazy? I think the best of the year to and for me was just, again, as I stated a little while ago, just the organic moments that happen. So this year alone, I just told y'all the Sherry Shepherd story. That was, pretty amazing to me and for me. Another one was one night at Tammy Ford's thing. I met Melissa Ford, and that was the first time I'd ever met her. And she was just extremely nice, and we got into a really fun, cool conversation about posing and how the difference between men and women. Because Sean, when we go out, there's only a few poses that guys do.
Yeah. Right.
But right. You ever take a picture of your wife? She's like, no, Sean, not from that angle. I need to suck this in. I gotta breathe this way. I gotta, stand this way. Guys don't do none of that. We care about none of that. We just take the picture. I mean, it's a jacked up picture. Oh well, but women, I need the angle to be right. The lighting, this isn't good lighting for me. Lady, I'm not a photographer.
Bitch, this is you in real life, bitch.
Yeah, like what we doing? So, so just, going through, like I said, those organic moments this year in particular were, amazing to and for me. And including, again, even, some of your comrades from the 914, I got a chance to speak to Pete Rocket, one of Tammy Ford's, things. And when we spoke and, we really got into a really cool and good conversation. And I think to your point, T, and I'm sure you as well, Sean, it's those moments when you get to speak to people and the conversation is good, it's genuine, it's organic, and you just feel as though, oh my God, like this was a dope moment that I won't forget anytime soon because of how it unfolded. So I think in 2023, I experienced, quite a few moments along those lines, which I've, have taken with me the entire year. And I can't think of any one person because, as I said, I moved away from trying to be in and at everything. I was sort of just like,
That's cool. That makes sense. Sean, you got any money?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of folks in 23 that was so inspirational that, T, New York King Talent and Amir, we stumbled on a lot of people on our journey. I mean, thousands of people throughout the year. But if there was one person that comes to mind with me is a super promoter and the comedian Ray DeJean, and I'll tell you why. I went down to Panama in the summertime to do an event down there. A bunch of us, Ed Lover, Ray DeJean, myself, and a few others. Mr. Cheeks were there, and Jadakiss the rapper. So I land in Panama. And Amir, the New York King Talent tells me that Ray DeJean's not there because Ray got sick and he fell out, and and he was sick. He was in critical condition. He was up there. He was wearing the pamper, taking the baby aspirin, wearing the bib. A lot of bib, a lot of pampers, a lot of that, and. He was feeling down at the moment, he was going through a lot. And I connected with him. I called him all the time. I just called him and he even though he had the sippy cup and all of that, we would just talk. A lot of sippy cup, a lot of bib. And for some reason, that dude connected. I connected with that dude because I know what he goes through and I know how he is in the game, and he has this weird reputation throughout the years. But this is one of the guys that went down. He went down. He was sick. He was critical sick. He was almost done. And we talked every day or every other day. And it had nothing to do with comedy. I was just checking on him, man. You all right? Because, 2 years before, he busted up all his kneecaps. There's a lot going on, Scott.
Right.
And the mere fact of just connecting with a person that I really don't connect with, but I do from time to time, but to just organically just talk to someone, check on them, seeing their recovery, that was gratifying to me. So the super promoter from Brooklyn, Ray DeJean, was one of those guys that kind of touched me throughout the year because what he was going through, and a lot of us went through. A talent was on that ride as well, and we all like kind of helped him out just with conversation or whatever we had to do. So I think that dude was one of those kind of inspirational stories to me because of an illness that he had. And that
he had strokes, but I think you just trying to get back in heaven because you fucked up. We were at the birthday party, and we explaining to the people the nigga had 2 strokes, and he's on the screen behind us via satellite or whatever, and the shit started buffering, and Sean Hardy had the nerve to say through the microphone, "See, look, he's stroking now." Let me tell you what made this shit so funny, man. I thumped him. But I also, the angel and the devil on the shoulders, the devil was like, "Oh, that shit's gonna kill it. Say it." And the angel just looked at me and said, don't. And I said, you know what? I'm God's nephew. I'm gonna follow the right angel on the left side. And as soon as I made that decision, I just heard somebody go, "Look, he's getting now." I said, "It was him. It was him." I'm snitching to the angel. Hey, you heard who said it? But anyway, no. Shout out to Ray. Ray has always been one of my peeps.
Yeah, no doubt.
A lot of times, he's had the turmoil of a career, like you said, and reputation because people didn't for a long time understand. Yeah. People seen a guy, and this is the shit that kills me because it's the same thing goes on in the country over like immigrants and foreigners like to come here, right? People always got beef with the Mexican gonna take your job, but well, do your fucking job. The motherfucker just won't work. So Ray got into the comedy thing as a businessman. Oh, I'm gonna make these relationships. I'm gonna book it. I'm a host. Blah blah blah. Next thing you know, he got bit by the bug. I really want to tell some jokes, so I'm gonna see because I'm making them laugh hosting. Why not try to say? All that time, you got people frowning on you. I'm like, you can't hate on anybody who jump into this shit because at the end of the day, we all jumped in at some point. Yes. We always did something else and jumped in at some point. So you ain't no more special than the next motherfucker. So Ray's always been one of my favorite people. I've defended him. I continue to defend him because I know his heart and I know he's not a bad or vindictive person. So long as you ain't coming with no toxic shit. Like I just said, we good fucking money. So clap it up for 2023. We lived another one. We learned. We came, we saw, we conquered. Now, that's behind us. If you didn't get it done, you got to try it again now. It's not going to go in the record books for 2023. Everything after that is 24. And we all, for the last week, have been dealing with the repercussions and outbreak of one of the most talked about, sought after comedians in the stand-up lane. Matter of fact, I always give him credit as creating his own 2 lanes back to back. That will forever be Cat Williams' signature best move to me. As a comic, is he my top comic? Is he a GOAT? No, not in my opinion, but I know he's a great person, right? So here's the thing. Now that you've seen, most of us have seen and heard the words of Cat Williams in the interview at Club Shay Shay. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Cat Williams. Now that we've heard where he's at with it, that's his truth. That's his story. Did anybody on here pick up any positives from said interview. Did anything resonate with you? Now I'm gonna tell you what stand out to me, which because I was listening to it in my head, once again in my headphones, my world famous noise canceling JBLs, and I'm in the airport, and I got an hour and a half, right? So I'm not realizing how long this interview is. I'm just listening, and then it got to a part that kind of warmed my heart because I 100% knew it to be true, and it was the part when Shannon was pointing out a couple of things to give him his props on how generous of man is. The generous things they did, like the Melba Moore Star, giving them the money, which I think is dumb anyway, to charge people to give them a star. I've never understood. They could kiss my ass on that. Anyway, yeah. She's a great person in our culture, and she deserved that, and she should have had that. And when he was getting it, if that little 75,000, whatever they charge you to do it, is going to stop her from getting that, you know what I mean? It'd have been a fucking travesty. So he hears about it. He does what he do. He even tells the manager, like, look, don't tell her where it came from. Let it, keep her focused on the star and getting that business done. And then afterwards, they told her, and the rest is history. But I could attest to the generous Cat Williams. So when he was tapping on that, and I started even giggling when he said, man, I go to a place, you pay me 100 racks to be there. I'm going down with a homeless at throwing 10 rounds to these people to help them out. And he's done that more times than you could ever fucking count. Raj G, the late, great Raj G, comedian out of Jersey. Raj G fell ill. And this at the very beginning. Raj had a girlfriend. The girlfriend knew me. The girlfriend found me, reached out to me, and was like, I don't know how or what. We need to raise money for Raj G, not for her. Her doctor bills are covered. She has insurance. She's fine with that. But the little things every day, I don't know how long she's going to be in the hospital. So the phone needs to stay on, the clothes, the rent. So that's okay. Well, that was my introduction to GoFundMe. I figured it out. You know what? Let me just put 7,000, 700 up. And I just put it out there, and I put it on my Facebook. Hey, man, Raj D, and in the community, our comedy community. And I remember going into the movie to see whatever movie I was going into. Me and my girlfriend at the time, the girl I was dating, we going in, and she's like, oh, how's it going with the GoFundMe? And I look at it. I'm like, oh, it's not bad. $2,400. It's only been up a few days, going good, whatever. I go in there, I cut the phone off, we watch the movie. We come out into the movie, talking about the movie, laughing, cutting the phone back on, just talking about live, got messages, whatever. I'm looking at the message. I go to the GoFundMe because it's in the notification that somebody, people were donating while we were in the movie. And I see $5,000 anonymous. I said, this shit can't be right. I open the whole thing up, and 5,000, you up to 7,500 now. I'm like, she's like, who is it? I said, I don't know. The shit say anonymous. You click on it, don't give you nothing. It's anonymous. I said, wow, that's crazy. Get in the car. Phone ring is Red Grant. Shout out to Red Grant, DC. Yeah. Red Grant said, yo, T, what up? I said, nothing, man. He said, yo, that's crazy. Raj, right? Yeah. He said, yo, Cat told me to call you, man. I got to give him your number. He want to call you. I said, of course, Cat could call him. Give him my number. Cat calls, hey, man, what's up, brother? Blah, blah, blah. Good to hear from you. He said, man, you know what, T? I didn't know. He said, just so you know, that I put 5,000 in GoFundMe. That was me. He said, but I didn't want motherfuckers all in. I don't really like all that shit. I just like to do what I need to do and for my spirit. He said, so just so you know, it's me. I was like, all right, no problem. And then we get to talking. He said, it's crazy. Had I known, and it was true, 2 days before, he was in Jersey doing NG Pack. He said, had I known when I was there, I would have fucking took the car out and went to visit her and did whatever. But this the least I could do now. If you need anything else, call whatever. And so that was the proof that I know the generous side of Cat, unsolicited. Right. I didn't call him. I said, Cat, I need and da-da-da-da. This is Cat. Mm-hmm. That side of him is real. So that stood out to me as a positive in the interview. Sean, can you find something positive in it?
Yeah, I could find something definitely positive in it. And we talked about it earlier a few hours ago. The spotlight that Cat Williams have put on stand-up comedy is a true blessing. And I'm talking about all levels. I'm talking about from the A-listers all the way down to just regular comedy shows. Now people want to come out. Now comedians want to talk. Now the everyday person that probably can't get to a Cat Williams show or can't afford it will come to a regular neighborhood show. So yes, this has put a spotlight on urban comedy as a whole. Folks want to come out to see stand-up. And I think that even though stand-up is always active, we're in a dormant moment right now, and Cat has just propelled stand-up comedy to where now people are so excited about it and they want to come out to see comedy. And I think that's a great thing. The one thing I'm confused about is Shannon Sharpe calling his club Shay Shay. Like yo, bro. Like, are you a top or bottom, bro? Like, Club Shay Shay? Like, man, like, is that your daughter's name?
That's probably his fucking nickname, bro.
Shay Shay, bro.
When he was young, they probably called him Shay Shay short for Shannon Sharpe. But you're terrible, man. Listen, man.
Amir Silly, you from Brooklyn, bro. You know any dude in your life, a real Brooklyn dude named Shay Shay, bro.
I'm not
New York Kings House.
This is Shannon Sharpe, man. This is two-time Super Bowl champion, man. We're not gonna do that, bro. Like, hold on a second. Let me say this. You're right. The light has been shined on stand-up comedy to the point where speaking of stand-up comedy, I just finished watching the Golden Globes, right?
Okay.
So on a bad note, they tapped Joe Coy to host. This nigga bombs.
Oh my God.
No, all they talking about, all of the entertainment blogs and this nigga ate it, bro. Like,
oh man.
I hit Aldo. Aldo tried to give him an excuse. Well, those rooms are hot. Nah, that nigga bomb. How the fuck you bomb? Taylor Swift looked at the nigga like this.
Oh my God.
He said a Taylor Swift joke, nigga. Taylor Swift took a drink. Everybody's like, "Ooh, shade," right? But he just kept bombing. He couldn't. The funny thing about it is, at least he kept the comedy spirit where he laughed himself, even when the joke bombed. He said, "Listen," he said, "some of these I wrote, some of them they writers wrote. The ones we laughing at is the ones I wrote." I thought that was funny, right? So, but this is the 81st annual Golden Globe Awards, and this was the first time stand-up comedies like hip hop at these awards. This was the first time they gave an award to the stand-up comedian of that year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and Chris Rock was in there. Wanda was in there. Amy Schumer was in there. There's about 6, nominees, and it was Jim Gaffigan was the guy that came out to present it. So he explained, he's like, "Yeah, they got me here. It's the first time, blah blah blah." He said a funny joke. He said, "Yeah, the shit to get me, man." He said, "It's been 80 years. I've been doing this shit 80 years, and now y'all finally want to let the talented people in." The nigga said, "I've been doing this shit 80 years with good-looking people coming every year, and now 80 years y'all finally want to let the actual talented people come in there." Dude, I was cracking up, but yeah, that was a dope thing. The light is definitely shining on motherfucking stand-up comedy. Can you pick anything? Did you see the whole thing, Amir?
I saw the whole thing. For me, what I thought was powerful. Was my take on it. Was to something that you said earlier in the beginning. We live in such a fake space, unfortunately, on so many levels now, where we're afraid to say what we feel, what we think. And that goes from everything from our community, meaning, whatever groups we're in, the basketball world, the comedy world, whatever. What I thought was refreshing was to see somebody who said, "You know what? I'm going to speak and say the truth as I see it." And I'm hoping that has opened the floodgates for other people to start doing the same. Because when you take this same energy and you apply it to some of these other areas, like I said, for instance, basketball, and I'm only using basketball because I always get into these debates. This one was greatest, this one was greatest. And we act as though there weren't situations where some of the greatest took losses. He's great, but he took some L's. I haven't watched football or basketball for the most part at all too tough this year, just generally speaking. But yesterday, I was watching the highlights on YouTube. I didn't even know that the Texans had a black quarterback. But I watched that young man, whoever he is, he was rocking yesterday. I'm like, look at this dude. Geno Smith, he was a Jets man he was doing his thing in Seattle. Some of these guys got to find the right systems, the right coaches, and the right people to believe in them before we start to see, some of the greatness in them or whatever the case may be. So to see Cat put out there, we need to have those conversations so that maybe that turns that light on some of these people to me was a positive. I know everybody was like, well, I was like, no, look, y'all get mad because our emotions are caught up in it. But if you take your emotions out of it, look at it from logistical standpoint, sometimes you'd be like, you know what? They right as hell. And that's the problem. Too many of us are emotionally attached to stuff. Again, y'all are football guys. Did y'all see that they said there's no coach in the history of the NFL who's had 17 seasons of winning like Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Right.
Last I checked, he looks like us. They didn't say Tom Landry. They didn't say Bill Parcells. They didn't say my man up in the Patriots. Check. So you see what I'm saying? Like, we have this way of, again, giving people flowers and this and that and the third, but sometimes the flowers are askew. You got 2 roses in there and 3 daffodils. Hold on, dog. Like, what are we doing? Is roses some days it's going to be some weeds in there. And I think for me personally, that's what I took away from it. I said, I hope that this allows everybody to get into a space where they start to take emotions out of it, start to look at some things logistically, give your opinion from a logistical standpoint, and stand on that. Not, oh no, but there was this time when I don't want to hear that.
I hear you on that. And here's some funny shit. The funny thing is, so with other than what Sean said, like shining a light on stand-up. So here's the part B of it. Part B is when you say some heavy shit, like he did say some heavy shit about certain people, you force motherfuckers to rebuttal. Because people get nervous and they don't want people to have one side of something. I got a fan base, so I don't want them thinking I did this and So you these people are coming out. Everybody mentioned slowly, one by one. Everybody's coming out with their rebuttal and their answer and blah blah. And you even got people who wasn't mentioned chiming in because it's our realm of entertainment. But I watched Ari Spears. Shout out to Ari Spears, another Jersey head, funny motherfucking man of many impressions. Ari goes on and does his thing, and Aries gives his spew, and there was nothing wrong with his spew. It was dead on what he said, and but what he was mad about, the angry part towards the end when he was about to close out, he said, what really pisses me off the most is, you see, black people love drama. He said, black people, we got to stop this shit, this toxic shit where we love drama. A motherfucker don't want to hear but so much good news, and before they tune you out. But drama, they'll sit for the whole movie. He said, drama, nigga, we eat it up and blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I agree and disagree at the same time. I agree people love drama. But from my walks of life, for 30 years of doing the Globe, it's more of an overall American thing than black people. This is how the American system functions. The American system functions from good and bad. Good and bad, they set up a system where bad is more profitable.
Right.
Overall. Understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about personal accolades. And you get a raise at the job, you get a promotion at the job, or you make it to the NBA. That's personal accolades. Humans are individuals. You're always going to see those. I'm talking about collectively as a people, as a unit, as a community. Let's call this country a community. This whole country is a community. This is what we've been trained living here and playing in the system, because that's what the system is. You see it every day in the news. The news used to come on 2 times a day.
Yeah.
You used to get your news early in the morning before you leave the house, and you get it at night when you get ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
News comes on all day.
Right.
We have channels. Think about it. We have channels now that for 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 news is on.
Yeah.
And what is it? They're not on there giving you happy news. You lucky if they splurt some happiness in your hour. Because predominantly, you're looking at the war in Israel.
Yeah.
You're looking at the terrorist bomb over there. You're looking at the mass shooting of the school and kids dead over here. You're looking at these robbers and stealers. You're looking at the nigga who just dove at the judge. That nigga got hops.
Facts.
Everybody's like, I wonder if the judge okay. Fuck that judge. That nigga got ups.
Yo. Can I say something about that? So I don't know if either of you have seen the other part of that situation where just before that happened, he was speaking to the judge like real calm, and he was like, I understand what you're saying. So I told somebody he doesn't need to go to jail. They need to put him in the WWF or the WWE because, bruh, I've never seen anybody dive like that. And it wasn't in a wrestling move. I was like, yo, bro, that was the ultimate.
Amir, the nigga cleared it. He cleared it.
With ease.
The nigga got hands because the nigga cleared it. And nigga, I was looking at my Jets miss a few tackles Sunday, right? This nigga clearing a judge's elevated desk and we stopped and tackled this bitch. Because the bitch, no, the bitch, nigga.
Yeah.
But that nigga don't got a hold of her so good, they up there, they can't get him off like a cat.
Yeah.
You know how hard is that? The cat get them nails in?
Yeah, but you know who I've gave the most credit to with that? The judge's assistant that was sitting next to her, the dude who been assistant for her for over 20 years. And only thing you see him doing is this.
But he don't like her. He don't like her. He don't like her. He let her get got.
Yeah.
That nigga, he don't like something going on there at work. Something going on at work. Because that nigga, nobody has a sense of urgency. If you are bailiff in the court, your whole job is to make sure
watch.
Escape one of these crazy niggas. That nigga was sitting there, he seen that nigga, he said, He seen him get the gas. He said, "Oh, they about to jump. He about."
But the clear, that was one of the best joints up. I said, and because normally if you dive at something, there's the banging your knee or something. He clicked that with ease. Like I was like, oh, he need a WWF job, WWE. I don't care which one, but y'all can call him the bailiff dude. I mean, the courtroom.
You thinking wrestling? I need the nigga on my team.
Yeah,
I don't want wrestling, but I know I need a couple of tackles. Tackling. The bipolar. But what do you think about what I just said? For real talk, like, do you see that we love drama, or is it a black thing?
I think we do love drama. I think but I think the reason why we love drama is because of our what y'all call it, PS, whatever that is, PST, however you say that thing where people
PTSD,
go through drama.
Post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, I think because in theory, and especially our community, we deal with that on such a normal basis, and we've normalized it on so many levels, to the point that that's how we see the world functioning. And I always say it, taking it to the simplest thing, because you and the three of us are in and around the same age. We from that stick-up kid area. And when you think about how going to get your school clothes, or maybe, if you work summer youth, you went to cash your check, there was the possibility of you getting, stuck up or caught or whatever the case may be. Right. That's a traumatic situation for you at a very early age that you then try to, phase out of, because yes, you do get bigger, you get stronger. So now you like, I wish a nigga would, and and all that kind of stuff. But in the moment, you can't wait to take yo Sean T, look out, let's watch for, the people, whoever's, trying to take checks or whatever the case may be. Yeah, so you grow up with that, and that becomes a part of your DNA, and it becomes a part of your psyche. And then it triggers itself in moments based off of, you know, how you move along in life. And I think to, you know, the point that you're making, between that and then all of the other things that seem to materialize from, you know, trauma from your family, trauma from school, and so forth and so on, is just trauma after trauma. So by the time you get to certain spaces in your life, you only know how to function utilizing trauma versus utilizing love to some degree. So I think you have a valid point there, T.
First of all, that's very well said.
Yeah,
I like the way you put that. That's very well said. But yeah, I think that if we break it down to us, and that's why I said I wanted to go deeper than just us, because it's easy to say when all you're around is us, all your information going to be about us. You know, you're going to be like, oh, black people this, black people that. But once you start to travel outside of us and see how everything else works, by traveling abroad, I learned I had to decipher and differentiate ethnicities, because here in America, we'll have you believe one thing about a ethnic background. You'll be like, oh, Jamaicans are this, Chinese are this, you know, fucking this or that. And when you go and see them in their own habitat, their natural origin, and see that they move totally different, you got to scratch your head and go, it ain't these niggas, it's America.
Yeah.
Because the niggas, these are the same niggas I said I don't care for, but now I'm in their country. I'm having a time of my life.
Yeah.
They're so generous. Oh my God. They like that number love and da 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 da. Yeah, because you're used to the American version of this. You're not used to a regular Jamaican. You're used to a Jamaican American.
241st Street. What's called that?
And they get here, Amir, and they adapt because of how we are. So if I gotta move them up, that's what people do in general. Whoever you gotta be around, you adapt. Sean got a different swag in Pennsylvania than when he home in the Bronx. When Sean come down that road, past 5 deer, a brown bear, chipmunks, this nigga's swag is different. The nigga probably put the groceries down, pet the chipmunk. He not petting them squirrels in the projects.
I do. But I tell you this,
Sycamore, you're not fucking with them.
Now, I hear you, but I'm gonna tell you this: you're absolutely right. We could go around the world. We could go to different cultures and see that it's totally a contradiction to what the Americans are telling us how these people are living, and we could be in this peaceful situation. But here's the insidious part of it: we thrive on so much drama that you can't give us a long period of peace. That's why vacations are only 5 to 7 days. We gotta get back.
Smart.
We gotta get back to the drama.
Yeah.
Because it fills this void in us.
Yeah.
It goes back to the slave days, bro. Yeah. We are embedded in drama. We love it. It's a boring day.
Bro, once you know that drama is, you know how we always talk about big pharma and the pharmaceutical industry. Oh, they're the billionaire, one of the biggest countries. Drama's right in there, bro. With drama, you know how we just talked about news coming on once or twice, now it's 24 hours. Same can be said about other shows of origin that popped up. Nigga, World Star, TMZ, you know, all of these shows. We got 100 reality joints. But we got all of these things because of the simple fact that let's call a spade a spade. Drama sells. So TMZ is on every day because I got niggas with cameras following people around. Oh, you doing drugs? You in the drug rehab? You coming out the rehab? This is this person's life. This is not really a happy or funny thing to this person, but for you, you got it in the can. You recorded it. I'm gonna make money and make people tune in to watch. Bobby Brown and Whitney fucked up on crack. This ain't real life. And this became your thing. So when you start feeding that shit down the pipeline and people are like, oh, Whitney on crack. Now you can't wait for the next episode. Next thing you know, you have a conglomerate built off of drama, off the backs of other. Understand something. We really need to, and I know we went over time, Prophet, we're about to wrap it up. Understand this in closing. And I need people to really take the time to do this because it's a new year and maybe you didn't think about it this way. But everything that we gravitate towards, negative or bad and drama and all that stuff, is attached to real people's lives.
Yes.
And those real people are going through it.
Yes.
Hence why it's called drama. Yeah, that person is going through it. Like one comic said, their assessment of Cat Williams, like, oh, I thought it was sad because clearly he's reaching out. Maybe he is. Maybe that's him reaching out. But maybe, how about maybe, just maybe, I could be out on a limb here, but maybe that's just that man's truth.
Yeah. True.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back. We're glad you came back. We'll see you the same time next week. Thank you, guys, man. Y'all looking splendid. Y'all got that high pro growth 2024 and shit. Look at these.
Let's go.
We look like a breakdancing group because me and Sean got the red on, you got the blue in the middle. We look like you got first, like.
We old legs. We old legs.
I love y'all. Nothing y'all can do about it. See us next Monday, same time. Sean Harvey, Amir Silly, your boy Talon Harris, Prophet Pete on the backdrop. Let's go, Pete. Love them. Nothing
It's Monday, cocksuckers, and you better come prepared because they don't fuck around on Monday. Monday, most people come in. I had such a great weekend. Oh my God, go fuck yourself. That was then. This is now, bitch. It's a whole new set of rules. It's Monday. If you ain't waking up with the taste of blood in your fucking mouth like a shark 5 feet from the shore, you fucked up. You understand? Because Monday is when you go. Everybody else is like, still the weekend.